Does that mean you have a decentralized data and AI team which is embedded in different functions, or is that a central organization?
So the data team itself reports into our CTO, and so on that side of the house, I'll give you the kind of the R&D org has engineering, data, design, product, as well as risk and underwriting. There are some interesting things too in there, by the way. We have customer support, ultimately reports into product. We don't need to go too deep into that, but I think it's because if people have problems, we don't want to just solve the ticket, we want to fix the product. There are certain projects where actually it can be a cross-functional set of, like, it can be data, it can be growth, it could be sales aspects actually working together on pods. And so on, let's say automation in a sales capacity, you typically see teams where it's a few subset of folks working against it. What I would say about data, I do think that it's important to have a centralized function, otherwise you start to have disparate models. I think one of the most important investments that we make and continue to invest heavily in is our customer data platform in CDP, which is, there's engineering, but it's primarily owned by the data team. There's analysis, there's analytics tools, there's automations tools, there's all that's built on top of it, but having a centralized function to make sure it's standardized in some way, and we're thinking about the infrastructure and how the model is organized is very important. AI, I think almost everyone uses it, but there is a dedicated applied AI team that's making sure first, to the infrastructure point, our database structure isn't too disjointed to be able to not be able to run analyses and pull insights from different databases. And so ClickHouse was ultimately implemented, and a lot of things were sped up by the applied AI team is what brought that in. But they also have an unusual remit in the RAMP context, which is that they can go into any team to sort of look at how we can apply AI to make things better. And so they saw that underwriting times for manual cases that we couldn't use machine learning to write, it could take an underwriter 2 days to do that. They sat side by side with the underwriter, and I think within a couple, like a 2-week sprint, that the average underwriting time fell to about, a quarter of a day, half a day. And so often they're trying to look at where their manual tasks and are there places we can use data signals, we can automate more tasks, and we can give you, a decisioning or propensity. This applies to, now we're using it in how do we generate marketing materials. We're using it in sales capacities to even products that we go and build.